chopping and dropping has been long been a part of the permaculture toolbox, and so this morning we're in the riparian zone next to the river. We'll be opening up this river forest system completely so we can walk in. There's been quite a lot of growth this year, so this is just some things that we could cut in the last 5 minutes. They've been told to cut a little bit above the roots so that the plants will grow again. It's just a small area that we're taking down now. We're not going to drop it where it lies. We will be dropping it in Damien's forest. We just opened the ducks and filling up their pond. Now they laid a couple of eggs again. See, we removed them because we realized they don't have a drake, and so we removed. I had a friend of mine coming to collect horse manure, and so I said to him, it's fine, he can come and collect a pickup full, but he needs to bring me a drake. So he came to collect his pickup, and hopefully soon we will get a drake so we can have baby ducks. They have really become a big part of the food forest in the way that they are taking care of the termites and fertilizing the garden. Damien's forest is, we realized, is probably currently one of the most infertile pieces of land on our land, but with them and with the mulch, amount of mulch for instance we're adding today and constantly adding new mulch, eventually we'll get it fertile as well. Adding a living animal to a system is always a trick because they can do quite a lot of damage, but I see they are looking for food from me now. I think that's why they keep following me. But the ducks are a very gentle part of the system, I would say. Much more gentle on a forest system than a chicken would be. Chicken would scratch everything out, all of this green would have been gone, and yeah, they would be more effective against the termites probably, the chickens, but the ducks do a very good job as well. They just take a little bit longer. Some of the horses jumped the fence, and so we are growing a living fence. You can see here cactus, and even deeper in there's a funky cactus there inside, all coming up all along the fence. So, but we ended up lifting it over the last couple of days, and when I say we, Lucas did while I was doing other things. Lucas ended up lifting the fence a bit just to keep it going. So our trees that's normally a pest are actually very valuable for us. Pest to other farmers, not to us. Normally a pest to other farmers are very valuable to us, to make sure our fence stays intact while these cactus, long thorn cactuses, keep growing. And they are basically every 700 millimeters we placed one. So throughout the system you can see that's new growth there. There's some new growth there. Throughout the fence, all around Damien's forest and the friendly forest, they are coming out now. So all of a sudden the forest opens up and we have massive amounts of biomatter. The mass is not that much. It makes a big heap. It looks like a lot, but if you can see that there's quite a lot of air between it. I spoke to the company this week that gave me the chipper the last time, and it feels like they will bring one back again this week hopefully. So I'm gonna put all the sticks on one side and then use the leaves to mulch as much as possible and see how that works. So two main objectives with us mulching is material touching the ground. We want to be able to feed the termites as much as possible. Termites like things that's close to the ground, so things touching the ground, and then have the sun not see the soil. So it can be a little bit higher, so here you can see the mulch is a little bit higher, but the idea is for the sun not to see the soil. So close everything up completely, and then just leave little islands around the trees where they can see the sun. I probably went, let's do a before video quickly. Obviously this is not completely before because I decided to do the before video a bit too late. This is already 30 centimeters of mulch all the way here, but on these sides there's no mulch yet, or no new mulch yet. Obviously there's all the old mulch, tons and tons that we brought in, all of this. Obviously on the left it's already mulched, but I wanted to do a quick before just so I can do a quick after. You can see here, we'll leave a little pathway around there to access those trees as well. Our idea is to mulch the living daylights out of this place today. The other nice thing that I wanted to show you is this little fruit bat. Decided to make the stables his home. It's got attached to the bottom of the shade net. Looks almost like a little bulldog. Now I've only seen one of them once before, a little bit bigger than this one. They are, if I understand Google correctly, they're supposed to live a bit further up north. So this is the second one that I see in this area. Okay, then we also found some omoyovas, that is giant mushrooms. Now, before I show you that, I quickly want to show you what the river looks like now. So all the bottom brushes has been cut off, the trees has been trimmed to grow up. So everything that grows down has been trimmed. This one I wanted to leave a bit more rough. I think it's in nature it grows a bit more rough, but the ones that can grow a little bit more straight up, like many of these acacias have been trimmed, all the bottom branches have been trimmed up so they can grow up. And we've opened up the whole area so that the grass and the brush and so on below can grow. It gives it a true feeling of a park below here. Now I started the morning wanting to chip a lot of the wood, and then I started to place a lot of them in the forest. But then as time ran out, we realized that it might be worth the while to get a bit of a chipper in. So I really hope to be able to get that chipper this week. We will probably keep on taking all of the smaller brushes from this giant pile tomorrow still, and breaking it down into the forest. But there's also loads and loads of things that would be better if it does go through a chipper. I mean, at the end of the day, if we don't get the chipper, we'll cut it as small as possible and say 30 centimeters or half a meter pieces of wood and lay that down in the forest. Okay, let me show you those giant mushrooms quickly now. The ones that they found is still young, and I actually said to them, if you find mushrooms, I'll give you something extra. Don't eat them, don't take them, because it's very much in that culture to just eat them from the bush. It doesn't belong to anybody, it comes from the bush. It's like picking a berry from the bush. Don't pick them, call me, I want to video it. And so they picked them and then called me. But anyway, so I'll give them a bit extra. These ones still need to open, so they picked them, I would say, a day too early. But if they didn't pick them, then the insects would have gotten to them as well. So if you open them, I'll open one for you here. You normally open them on a table. You take all the outside out and off the skin like that to clean them. But if they were left for a day longer, it would have been opened there. Now I'll see if I cannot do a separate video where we prepare these ones, because it is a nice thing, and I'll see if I can show you what they look like when they are cooked. So the only reason why I wanted them to be open before we harvest them is so that we can have spores. Now they will grow again, the termites will grow more, but it would have been nice if they opened and they drop their spores immediately. But then you only have hours to get them, you know, and not a lot of hours. 2 or 3 hours after they open, the insect starts eating the inside of them. Everything in the bush wants them, so you have to be quick. Right, so just one final turn around. This is what the river forest looks like now. We opened it very, very deeply. I want to show you Damien's forest, what it looks like. I still have, for the last half an hour, still have guys there. They are cleaning some old wood from the river on that side above the swing. We want to make a barbecue, and I don't feel like buying wood tonight, so we're harvesting a bit of wood from the river system. Now I opened the tap here, opened the sprayer because I wanted the mulch to be wet. Wanted the area to be wet, so it probably isn't as necessary now this time of the year. The trees would have been okay, but I still wanted to wet the area. Right, so this side completely mulched. This side we still need to bring in mulch. So from this morning when I did the before video, not much has changed actually, except I'll show you there now. So you can see on the left hand side everything is mulched, very densely mulched. And then goes here, this is still dry. You can see the little yellow pegs again where there is trees. There's a prickly pear, there is a mulberry, there is a guava, there is a citrus, there is a prickly pear. Mulch, mulch, mulch. Not as dense as I would like. They can still add a lot, yeah, but it's a good beginning. It's a good beginning. So yeah, it's also mulched. Now in here, there's not as many trees as I would like. We buried the horse here, and I thought the children would have liked to place a tree on there. I wanted to take them to the nursery to buy trees, but it was just a sad sight. So I think we'll probably still put trees on there. If the children doesn't want to do it, then I'll put it on there just because I want to see what happens. But yeah, it never turned out to be. I thought, we'll do a little ceremony like, but it wasn't something the kids were interested in. They were just interested in not talking about it and not thinking about it. Anyway, okay, so it's not as dramatic a difference during the day as I would have liked. I would have liked to see a lot more mulch down today, but we did clear a lot of the river. We did make a whole heap, but it's amazing how quickly this mulch disappears. You can see all of this. There was loads and loads of mulch here. Everything gone. Right, that is going to be the end of my story for today. I will see you tomorrow.